Happy birthday, America. 233 years young, and where better to be than at the ballpark on a beautiful Saturday afternoon on the 4th of July. Braves and Nats, Game 2 of the 3-game weekend series. The Nats need to break this losing streak, and they need to break the Atlanta winning streak. Bob Carpenter, Rob Dibble, happy 4th, everybody. Hope you're having a great day with friends and family and food. And Rob, how about some pitching to talk about today? Because John Lannon has really been good lately. With a ball club and a better record, he's probably 7-3 or 8-2.
Absolutely, Bob. Absolutely. I mean, if he was on one of those teams where he gets tons of run support and great defense, he could easily be about 10-3. He's pitched brilliantly in his last 5 starts, and the Nationals have capitalized on that, winning 4 of those last 5 starts. And he'll be going up against Tommy Hanson, a tough competitor, but he's definitely up for that. He's beat both New York teams, and he pitched well in all of those last 5 starts. So the bottom line is with John Lannon, go out there, keep doing what you're doing, and you can't control whether or not you're going to get offense or great defense behind you.
Tommy Hanson, the rookie pitcher of the month in the National League. He has a 20-inning scoreless streak going, and he has a good ERA, 2.48.
Well, this kid's got great stuff. He's got upper 90s fastball potential. He's got a great curveball and slider. His problem is if he can't get those secondary pitches over, he can be hit.
Hasn't pitched more than 6 innings any time out this year. Maybe the Nats outfield will give him some problems today. Niger Morgan all over the bases early, all over center field all night. Josh Willingham continues his great RBI hitting. And then there's the big fella, number 299, Adam Dunn. At Southwest.com. By Northrop Grumman, the information systems powerhouse. And by Nike. It's about you. It's about our nation. It's about freedom, and it's about beautiful weather and baseball today. Welcome to Nationals Park. Little breeze blowing in from the left field corner. You couldn't ask for a more beautiful day. Let's have a look at the Southwest.com lineup for the Braves. 11th in runs and homers. Top 6 in batting average. Matt Diaz had a good ball game last night. On fire, 9 for his last 14. 2 singles, a walk last night. In the early going, I'll tell you something else about the Atlanta lineup that makes a big difference, because they're not a home run hitting team, but they put the bat on the ball. John Lennon has a challenge today, Rob, against a team that has the second fewest strikeouts in the National League.
Yes, but he's faced the Yankees and the Mets and some other very good offenses, so I think that John Lennon's up for the challenge. Just give you the PNC Bank scouting report. He is getting stronger. That's why I put the phys ed up there. Every outing, John Lennon seems to get a little bit better and just stronger. The team has won 4 of his last 5 starts. 3, that's the run differential between his home ERA and road. At home, it's 2.03. On the road, it's 5.12. And happy 4th of July, everybody. Be safe. Don't drink and drive.
Nationals defensively. Niger Morgan in center, flanked by Dunn and Willingham again. Anderson Hernandez at second base. Willie Harris was there last night. Will Nieves behind the plate. Josh Bard was there last night. Arizona Diamondbacks have actually made more errors now than the Nats. 74-73, but the Nationals have a slightly lower defensive percentage. Good crowd on hand. Here we go. John Lennon, first pitch of the day. A swing and a foul by Nate McLouth at 1:06 Eastern Time. 80 degrees, partly cloudy skies, sunny at the moment. McLouth at 257 for the Braves. He's hitting 258. Sounded like a broken bat. Little one hopper. Hernandez easy out to start the game. 21-year veteran and the crew chief Jerry Lane has the plate today. Mike Winters at third, Chris Guccione second, Tony Randazzo first base. Men in blue working on the holiday as well, and here we go with Martin Prado. He's on a 4-game hitting streak. He's 10 for his last 18. 3 hits, 3 runs last night. Here's how the Braves, who've only hit 64 homers this year, generate offense like they are right now, having won 5 in a row. They've only struck out 480 times this year as a team. The only team with fewer strikeouts, the Mets, another team not hitting for power right now, 440 times. So Bobby Cox has his guys making contact and hitting line drives. Just like that, and it's about 3 or 4 feet foul. Now in contrast, the Nationals have struck out 612 times. If you think that's the most in the league, there are 3 teams in the league who have struck out more: the Marlins, the Brewers, and the Diamondbacks. Arizona, 641 strikeouts. That's a lot of air.
Yeah, the Brewers are a grip it and rip it type team. Yep. They're going to strike out an awful lot. They're going to hit a lot of home runs, and they just need a few table setters, just like we do.
2-2. And out to left field for Adam Dunn. Game notes. Braves trying to get back to 500 today. Josh Willingham tries to prevent them from doing so, swinging a great bat over his last dozen games, 15 hits. And the Nats and the Braves usually play close games against each other. John Lennon, 10 quality starts of his first 16, and he should be a whole lot better than 5-5. They're going up swinging against him, so I think you can see the Braves have seen tape. They know what Lennon's been doing lately, and they do not want their hitters to get to 2 strikes, and that includes Chipper Jones. Chipper's on a 5-game hitting streak, 7 for his last 20. He's 7th in the league in walks and in on-base percentage at .409. And from the right side this year, Chipper's batting .325. You couldn't ask for 3 more routine outs to start a ball game. 2 grounders to second, around a can of corn to left, and a good first inning for John Lennon. 258. 7th in the league. They're 10th in runs and 9th in home runs. And the Southwest.com lineup: Adam Dunn, 11 homers in the division this year of his 21, and the next one he hits out will be number 300. Niger Morgan back up there at the top of the lineup. Anderson, Hernandez, and Will Nieves 7 and 8. The changes from last night. Who is this Tommy Hanson, who's only 22 years of age? 22nd rounder, way back in 05. Took him a while to get him signed. He was unsigned for almost a year.
Well, I mean, he's out of a community college. He probably wasn't highly scouted coming out of high school, and he became one of the best pitching prospects in the minor leagues.
That ball ripped by Morgan to left, but it's going to twist right back to Garrett Anderson. Ball's always slicing off the bat of the left-hander over there. That's the best swing he's had so far as Rob sets up the pitcher.
Let's break down Tommy Hanson on the PNC Bank scouting report. Employee of the month, 4-0 with a 2.4 ERA. He was the National League Rookie of the Month, 463. That's strikeouts in 389 minor league innings and 136 walks in 389 innings pitched. He's the first pitcher in the 17-year history of the Arizona Fall League to be named MVP last year. So this kid is good.
And the Nats are going up hacking. He's 6'6", 220. Nick Johnson hitting 295. Nick got on base last night a couple of times, an RBI single and a walk and a run scored. But he's only 3 for his last 32. If you talk to the Atlanta people about Tommy Hanson, one of the things they were really impressed about was his last start. Bobby Cox thought about warming up 2 guys in the bullpen, Hanson and a reliever, because he was so sick before he pitched against the Red Sox. They didn't know if he could even start. He goes out with a real bad sore throat and some other ailments and gives up no runs on 2 hits in 6 innings.
Well, he has not allowed a run in his last 3 starts, and he's got a 23-inning scoreless streak coming in today. So that's some good pitching, no matter what you're doing up there.
1-2 to Nick Johnson. He slices it straight back.
He's got an above-average fastball, above-average curve, and a even better slider. And Don Sutton told me before the game that he has a John Smoltz-like slider. And coming from the Hall of Famer, that's some big praise.
The Nats are 2-2 on the 4th of July, and they're 2-0 in the city of Washington. Just missing. They lost against the Mets at New York on July 4th of 05, 5-2. And then the Marlins came to town in 06. In a moment, we'll show you what happened. We think you'll remember it fondly. Nick Johnson up the middle. Under the glove of Escobar, and a base hit for Nick. It was a 6-4 win, and here's how it ended in 06. Zimmerman,
get up.
Left field,
get up.
How far is it?
Get up.
It is gone. A homer for Ryan Zimmerman.
Holy mackerel! He did it again.
Now, is that your color guy drowning you out there?
That was Tom Fitzgerald getting a little bit excited.
I have no problem with that. I love him.
What a great day.
Get up! Get up!
It got up, it got out. By the way, Ryan wasn't on the team as early as July 4th of 05. He was called up later that year. And then the Nats shut out the Cubs the following year behind Matt Chico's 7 great innings. Last year, Bronson Arroyo and Ken Griffey Jr. hitting a homer did a number on the Nats in a 3-0 win at Cincinnati. So there's your nation's Capitals team 4th of July history in a nutshell. Ryan's hitting .308 his last 10 games. Still 6th in the league in hits, and he's in the top 4 in runs. Scored a couple more last night. And a 1-1 from Hanson. Well, he's got a great slider. They say his curveball is still a work in progress, but he will be a bona fide 4-pitch pitcher when he gets it all figured out.
Well, there's the John Smoltz-like slider that Don Sutton told me about. But he said he likes the kid even more, Bob, because he's a warrior. He's going to attack you depending on, like you just heard, he had the flu. He was very ill. He's still going to go out there and guts and guile. And that's what I like about pitching. You know, you got to go out there some days without your best stuff, feeling sick, throwing up in between innings. And hopefully a few of our younger guys can take note of this kid.
One and two to Ryan, hitting .295. He got jammed. Little pop-up out behind short for Escobar. 2 outs. Braves are in the bottom 5 in the league defensively. They're giving Brooks Conrad a start at second base today, moving Prado over to first against the Nats left-hander Lannon. Nate McLouth has not made an error in center field this year. This may be the first time I've ever done a Nats-Braves game when Jeff Francoeur was not starting in right field. Matt Diaz is today. And David Ross, the catcher.
Well, Diaz swinging a hot bat and Garrett Anderson swinging a hot bat. Francoeur is not.
Got to get those guys in, and how about young Mr. Conrad last night? That was amazing.
Pinch hit, 3-run homer. He's hitting 1,000 right now with a homer and 3 RBI. So
early favorite for July Rookie Player of the Month.
Oh yeah, and Bobby Cox said, "I'll reward you by a start."
Yeah,
it's very nice.
I like the merit system.
I do too. I do too.
Keeps people on their toes, and it's a day game after a night game. So here's Adam Dunn, 5-game hitting streak, 3 homers and 6 RBIs over the last 18 at bats. So 3 of his 6 hits during the streak have left the yard. Top 5 in the league in homers, top 7 in RBIs. He goes the other way with this one, but it'll stay in the ballpark for Garrett Anderson. Nationals a 1-out hit from Nick Johnson. He's stranded. No score after 1 on the 4th of July.
Making his first 4th of July start, and he told me that it is a special day for him to be able to take the mound here today.
We are in a niche capital. It's very patriotic, and I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be great, and I'm glad we have a day game so we can celebrate and watch some fireworks at night.
John, of course, has a great view from his apartment here in D.C., so he'll be able to watch the fireworks with his new roommate, Tyler Clippard. And one other note to tell you about, I'm hearing that there's going to be a roster move after the game, and Jason Bergman, a candidate to join the team, with Jesus Colome likely being designated for assignment the way he's pitched lately, guys.
Thank you, Debbie. We appreciate the scoop. Top of the 2nd, Garrett Anderson. Yeah, I was wondering if Lannon, after Joel Hanrahan had departed, was still having to pay all the rent, or if he got somebody to share it. So Tyler Clippard is his latest roommate. And we saw from Debbie's report last week, they have a great view of the Capitol from John's pad. And right right there for the comebacker off the bat of Garrett Anderson. 4 in a row to start the game for John Lennon, with Escobar coming up next. Get your family fun pack and join us tomorrow. You can get a $14 upper right field terrace ticket or go lower bowl either side for $25. You get a hot dog, non-alcoholic drink, and chips. Minimum 2 tickets per purchase. It is a family day. Pre-game autographs. Kids run the bases after the game. 888-632-NATS or nationals.com. Escobar 4 for his last 6. Braves have a whole bunch of guys swinging the bat really well. We're bathed in sunshine again, and it's 2-0. Other ball games are underway. They're not having a whole lot of fun at Wrigley. The Brewers have 5 runs in the first inning and are still batting. Right field line, that's a problem if it's fair, and it'll fall just a foot or 2 outside the line. Rich Harden pitching for the Cubs today, and Milwaukee has put a big crooked number up on the board. St. Louis has an early lead at Cincinnati, and no, Albert Pujols did not hit the homer. Colby Rasmus did. I guess when the bases are loaded, Rob, you have to pitch to that guy.
Bob, I told you last night when we were eating after the game, listen, you're up 3-0 late in the ball game. Why not walk him?
Walk in a run.
Walk in a run. You put that guy at first. You still have a 3-1 lead. The grand slam home run put the Cardinals up by a run. It's just, I don't understand it. I mean, if you don't think you can get him out, don't pitch to him.
Now, didn't you tell me that Buck Showalter once did that and he won the ball game?
Yes, he did. And, you know, a lot of people were like, oh, how can you do that? And it was with Barry Bonds.
It's against the book.
It's against screw the book. You need to win. And the bottom line is, you know, a lot of teams, what is he, 6 for 8 with the bases loaded this year with 4 grand slams.
Ryan Zimmerman unloads it in a hurry. Nick Johnson has it, 2 outs. 4 ground balls for John Lennon and 1 routine fly to left. Beautiful day at the ballpark. Fans are still coming down Half Street. Matt Diaz, 9 for his last 14, batting .307. Mike Cameron has a homer for Milwaukee in that 5-0 game at Wrigley. And a hot shot between Zimmerman and Guzman. And the Braves have their first base hit. And Matt Diaz is on fire, 10 for 15. I'd smile too. Visiting with Glenn Hubbard, Nick Johnson there. He's aboard with 2 outs for catcher David Ross.
He's got an interesting setup, that Matt Diaz, how he stands straight up and then he gets into his crouch.
David Ross, 32 years of age now. He was with the Reds for the last 3 years. We had seen him before that with the Pirates.
Did a solid job for the Reds. I was surprised they let him go.
Yeah, they released him August 20th of last year. He ended up signing with Boston and had 8 at-bats in 8 games for the Red Sox down the stretch. I don't know how you do this in the SEC, but he played for 2 different schools, Auburn and Florida, who don't exactly like each other a whole lot. Former Nat Brad Wilkerson was a teammate of his in Gainesville. And a fly ball right field line. Willingham circling over there. Josh is there to grab the fair ball. He'll lead off in the bottom of the second. The hit by Diaz, no problem in a scoreless game.
On the face of the earth.
One of the most tender moments in Major League Baseball history. The 7-time All-Star, future Hall of Famer, and 6-time World Series champion Lou Gehrig bidding adieu to Yankee fans 70 years ago.
Well, it is ALS Awareness Day, and that speech was read at every ballpark around Major League Baseball before the game. And I know we've talked about this. Mickey Mantle, when he gave his retirement speech and was saying goodbye to the people at Yankee Stadium, he brought up Lou Gehrig, and he said, I can understand now how Lou Gehrig could say, as he was standing there dying, basically saying, I'm still the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Lou Gehrig, a native of New York City, and Mickey Mantle from a tiny little town in Oklahoma. Great Yankees. You can go to alsa.org or MLB.com. ALS Association, TDI, Augie's Quest, and Project ALS all participating today. A terribly debilitating disease that'll take your loved one away. Tommy Hanson at the beginning of what looks like it's going to be a good career against Josh Willingham. And a 2-1 pitch. He's got some breaking ball. He's throwing it for strikes, and it's 2-2. Braves have beaten the Nats 5 out of 7 times this year. They have split the 4 games here at Nationals Park. And he committed to the 2-2 pitch outside, and he's gone. First strikeout of the day for Hanson, whose strikeout to walk ratio isn't that great, 19 over 17, but at times he's not very hittable, 222.
Yeah, that's another thing Don Sutton said, that he has not really pitched a great game, even though he's 4-0 and the team has won all 5 of his starts. And as I said in the open, Bob, in the minor leagues, in 389 innings pitched, only allowed 271 hits, struck out 463, and only walked 136, so he's got great stuff.
Guzman serves it out to the shortstop, Escobar. 2 outs.
I mean, the scouting report on his fastball is 7.5 to 8. Same thing for the curveball and the slider, and 7.5 means it's a 75 to 80, and on the scale goes 20 to 80 as far as how good you are. So those 3 pitches are 3 of the best you can have.
Beautiful day at Nationals Park, right down on South Capitol Street. Hey, if you're in the neighborhood, hop on the Metro, stop on by. Plenty of seats are still here available. Anderson Hernandez 0 for 8. And he gets a start today, batting .255. Hanson has been victimized just a little bit by that common malady known to young pitchers called high pitch count at times. That's why he hasn't gone more than 6 innings this year. 6, 5 2/3, 6, 5 1/3, and 6 innings in his 5 starts. And he misses 3-0. Nats would love to have the speedy Hernandez aboard here with 2 outs in the second. Will Nieves getting a start today. And then John Lannon. Well, you better not let a Nationals pitcher bat in this inning with men on base. Got an interesting note from our media relations guy, John Dever, today about the Nationals pitchers and what they've been doing with the bat this week. We'll tell you about it when John Lannon gets in there. And the count goes to 3-2. Hernandez has struck out 31 times this year in 196 at bats. So he makes contact 84% of the time. Had him reaching. Now they'll have to hurry. He can fly, and he is safe. Well played by Escobar, but out of that left side of the batter's box, Hernandez was gone. And he has the Nationals' second base hit.
Well, we've talked about this, putting the ball on the turf and using your speed. Escobar, an excellent young shortstop, cannot come up with this play against that speed. And Anderson Hernandez, great job. Don't look at the ball. Just dig right through the bag like a sprinter. Don't leap for the bag. And he beats this out for an infield single. The Exmo shows the action with Escobar.
Will Nieves, 7 for his last 47. And Hernandez is a running threat. He has stolen 5 bases in 8 attempts. Now maybe base stealing will be contagious now that Niger Morgan is here. Maybe some of the other guys will rev up their running games. He swiped one last night, and the Nats' next steal will be number 30 on the year. And Will got jammed severely. Should be easy for Prado, and Washington's gone here in the second inning. Well, on a holiday like this, you might want to go to the wall. The Vietnam Memorial, one of the most powerful places you can visit in this city.
Who protect our great country every day.
Well said, Skipper. We air today's game on Masson in celebration of Independence Day. The United States of America, founded July 4th, 1776, with the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Today, America celebrates its 233rd birthday. And we are still so young. Mini flags, 20,000 of them given out today. Our fans waving them proudly. We go top of the third. John Lennon against last night's Atlanta hero, Brooks Conrad. Yeah, he's a switch hitter, so he's up there right-handed now. 29-year-old rookie who hit his first major league home run last night. He was 3 for 19 with 2 RBIs in 6 games last year with Oakland, a team that had signed him as a minor league free agent in December of 2007. He originally signed with Houston in the 8th round 9 years ago out of Arizona State. Look at this guy, 2 for 2.
Still hitting 1,000.
Well, he's got a good first name for an infielder, Brooks. Here's what he did last night, batting left-handed. Jesus Colome with those 2 walks, and this was a big ouch. If you weren't around down a few minutes ago for Debbie Taylor's report. There's a possibility that after the ball game a change will be made to the Nationals bullpen.
No, I think it's more than a possibility.
Jason Bergman's name has come up in place of Colomé. Here's the pitcher, Hansen. Tommy Hansen can swing the bat, 2 for 9 with an RBI. Only thing he doesn't have is a sacrifice. Bobby Cox wants him to do that right here. Zimmerman trying to get a good jump in from third. And now Ryan backed up a couple of steps because the pitcher never squared around. And it's 2-0.
No, the Nationals are looking for a few good men out in that bullpen. Get some outs. Be a bridge to McDougal at the end of the ball game.
Yeah. And so far they've been the few and the not so proud. And that's very close, but back in there is Conrad. Ron Nieves likes to throw the ball around. He has nabbed 7 of 31 base stealers this year.
Great play there by Anderson Hernandez, sneaking in behind the base runner.
Did he pull the bat back? Yes, he did. 3-1. All right, John needs to quit throwing breaking balls now and just throw a fastball in there and let the guy make it out.
See him pull the bat back here. See if he did it in time. Yep.
Good bunt. The plays to first. Lannon to the second baseman. 1-4 on the sacrifice. It's never been easier for our Nats fans to take in a ball game. StubHub.com, official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Washington Nationals. Braves here tomorrow. Derek Lowe and Scott Olson, and then it's on to Colorado for 3. And then we played that suspended game first at 7 p.m. in Houston on Thursday night. The regularly scheduled game will be at 8 o'clock. That thing could last 3 minutes or it could last another hour. We don't know. It's going to be very bizarre to go paging back what amounts to almost 2 months in the scorebook to May 5th.
I recall Elijah Dukes was on base.
He was. He had walked with 1 out. So obviously
somebody else will be pinch running.
We'll have a courtesy runner, as they call it. And the other thing is, if the Nationals score, and they will be the home team in the bottom of the 11th, the
Game's
winner
over.
would be Joel Hanrahan.
There you go. And he's now with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
So who knows what's going to happen. By the way, the hitter will be Josh Willingham. And I kind of like Josh Willingham at Minute Maid Field with those little Crawford boxes and that cozy little porch out there in left field. So Josh just hit a walk-off homer, and then you guys go back in and have a nice little snack and get ready for the regular game. Here's Nate McLouth. The only way the second game will not start, the regular game, at 8:05 will be if the first game goes long enough. They'll have to have 20 minutes in between games. Anyway, don't want to fill your mind with too much about Thursday. Got 4 games to play before then, including this one. Nate McLouth bounced out to second first time up. John Lennon had him reaching for a breaking ball. John's career record, 16-22. This is his 54th career start. A good career ERA of 3.79. He's 2-2 in 5 starts against the Braves with a 3.30 ERA. That ball slapped up the middle. It'll put Atlanta on top. Nate McLouth with his 46th RBI. This is what the Braves do to you. Single, sacrifice, single, and they're on top here in the 3rd.
Well, John's been throwing a lot of pitches up in the zone, and right here McLouth gets one up in the zone, doesn't try to do too much. You see that beautiful Exmo off the top of the bat, and he just drives it right back up the box. Nothing fancy, just a single, as Bob said. Single, sack, single, and the Braves take the lead.
He's a running threat. Nate McLouth, how about the speed that he had in that lineup with Niger Morgan when they were together in Pittsburgh? He has stolen 10 bases in 11 attempts. Martin Prado, the hitter. Lannon trying to work him inside, and the count's even 1-1. This would be a great time for John to throw a ground ball with Chipper Jones on deck. Just like that. This will be tough to turn. Hernandez. Yes. And Nick Johnson picks the one-hopper. A very nice 6-4-3 by the Nationals. Their 64th double play of the year gets them out of the inning.
Nothing more American than going to a baseball game, and the Washington Nationals have reached out to the military families through TAPS, the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, and they brought a lot of kids here to the ball game. And Jacob, why do you like being a mentor for TAPS?
I get to work with great people like Cheyenne, get to have fun, and it also helps put a lot better perspective on the job I do for the Air Force.
And a great job, I must say. And Cheyenne, what's it like having a mentor like Jacob who brings you out to a ball game? That's pretty cool.
Nice, because my dad was in the military and he used to take me out to baseball games just like Jacob does.
Outstanding. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the game. I know they have ice cream that's melting, so we're going to let you go. And this is a tradition that the Nationals want to continue every 4th of July. Bob?
Absolutely wonderful, Debbie. Thank you. And hats off to those wonderful folks who are serving our country and protecting this freedom that's 233 years old today. John Lannon, can he become the 4th consecutive Nationals starter with an RBI? Well, he'll have to leave the yard to do it here. But the Nats have a streak. First time they've had RBIs from pitchers in 3 consecutive games. Craig Stammen, Jordan Zimmerman in Florida, Ross Detweiler last night. Now the only thing is those need to be coupled with a W at some point.
I was going to say that.
I knew you were.
I'd much rather have the W than the hits in the RBIs.
All right. I'm hitting the delete button now.
Nope, that's okay. You're just doing what you do.
A nice note, though.
It is. It's a very nice note. They're contributing.
John Lannon's gone. He will not get RBI career number 2 there. Or hit number 7. And the second strikeout for Tommy Hanson. Tommy Hanson this year. Funny how guys go 3-3 at AAA and then they come to the major leagues and they're unbeatable for a while. He had a 1.49 ERA in 11 starts at Gwinnett, the Braves' new AAA franchise just north of Atlanta. So that indicates he didn't get much run support. He could have been 5-1 or 6-0. And his minor league career, a record of 23-18 in just over 3 seasons. And Rob, the big test for a young pitcher, always the innings. last year at single A, double A. He only pitched 138 innings. And I know that's an issue for guys coming out of college as well. All of a sudden you're in the major leagues and that inning load gets a whole lot bigger than it was at the lower level.
Yeah, and I'm not a big, proponent of this whole quality game thing. It's telling these guys that you can be amazingly average at the major league level, and that's permitted. And I just don't see that. Saying a guy's going 6 innings, 3 earned runs is a joke. They need to stop the quality start stat and just say a quality start is helping your team win some games. Because now it's even difficult to get good middle relief help at the major league level. It's just watered down pitching, and you've got statisticians saying, oh, it's okay. It's not okay.
Niger Morgan jerks one down the line, and it's just foul.
But yeah, Tommy Hanson, first year in the minors, first full year, 133 innings. The next year, last year, 138, but he did go 20 more in the Arizona Fall League, and as I said, was the MVP. The bottom line is, if you don't start pushing these kids at the lower levels, they're going to continue to come up here and pitch around 200 innings. I mean, I look back 30, 40 years ago, and they're pitching 320 innings like it was nothing. Yeah. And the reason was every 4th day, and this could be a single. Almost.
Well played by David Ross.
Because first of all, there wasn't specialists in the bullpen, because as I interviewed Goose Gossage the other day, he told me that if you were in the bullpen, it meant you were such a crappy starter that they had to stick you out there. It was basically a garbage dump.
Yeah.
And, then they started pitching those guys 3 innings and they started getting saves. But the bottom line was you were pitching for your job. And your job depended on you going out there and pitching 9 innings every 4th day, not every 5th day. And it's just now pitching is just watered down. And it's like, okay, yeah, hey, we're going to reward you for 6 innings and 3 earned runs. It's a joke.
Yeah. Oh, the agents love it.
The agents love it because it gives them something in arbitration, just like a hold. A hold's a joke. Unless you're helping your team win ball games, what's a hold if you lose the ball game? That should be a meaningless stat. But we continue to pile on with these stats, and we're just basically congratulating people for doing average work.
Yeah. That's what I think the quality start is, a reward for mediocrity.
Absolutely.
Because that's a 4.50 ERA. And nobody will ever pitch 300 innings again unless they go back to 4-man rotations. There aren't enough starts anymore for anybody to pitch anything like that.
Well, the president of the Texas Rangers is demanding it now, and that's Nolan Ryan, Hall of Famer. He will not allow them to use pitch clickers anymore. No more pitch counts, and he requires his pitchers in the minor leagues to go 1 extra inning per start throughout the minor league season. And that's more, it's not so much the statistics that he's looking at. He wants to push these guys to push themselves. And that's what we need at the major league level, these pitchers to push themselves.
Nick Johnson gets jammed and a pop-up out behind, well, now in front of second base. Taken by the shortstop Escobar. Nats go in order. It is the 4th of July, and they finished refurbishing it last year. The Iwo Jima Monument is as striking as ever over in Arlington. sights of our country all over the ballpark today. Well, she's got the stars. Top of the 4th inning. John Lannon's 40th pitch of the day. Chipper Jones bounced out to second baseman Anderson Hernandez. His first time up. Braves lead on a Nate McLouth base hit. John Lennon with a good tailing fastball away, 88 miles an hour. And the count's 1-1. Chipper trying to jump all over it.
John has been surprising with his velocity lately. His last start, he was pumping it up there about 93.
Chipper lines it hard to right, but right there is Josh Willingham, who's putting in a lot of extra work and learning that side of the field very quickly. How about a Grand Slam flex plan? You can get it going right after the All-Star break. Pick 4 games, you get the 5th one free. 5 different plans to choose from. Pick your plan, your games, your seats, and get a free game. It's that easy. 202-675-NATS or nationals.com/Grand Slam. Garrett Anderson next. Lannon got him on a comebacker first time. Good breaking ball in there. Brewers have added another run in that game and lead 6-0 at Chicago. Now J.J. Hardy's hit a home run. Right up the middle. And Garrett Anderson has now hit safely in 7 of his last 8 games. He had a pinch hitting appearance here last night and lined out hard, putting an end to his hitting streak. But as a starter, swinging the bat very well.
Well, Garrett always seems to look very comfortable in the box, and you see him not too much going on there. He's very quiet, and he just smacks the ball right back up the middle.
All the famous guys in the American League hitting homers today. Hideki Matsui of the Yankees, Jason Varitek of the Red Sox, Jermaine Dye for the White Sox.
Jermaine Dye's having a tremendous year. That's going unnoticed by many.
Big names are hitting big flies today. And here's Escobar. Bounced out to Zimmerman first time up. John Lannon put the 3rd inning to end on a ground ball. Let's take you further around the league with a few notes. Manny Ramirez 0 for 3 last night. Did have a walk. Albert Pujols, Grand Slam number 350 last night. Youngest ever. 3rd youngest ever. And Shin Soo Choo of Cleveland. Well, he did all of it for the Tribe last night. 2-1. Albert Pujols has 82 RBIs now.
Yeah, he's just showing up.
He's on a Hack Wilson type RBI pace.
He's already got 4 Grand Slams.
That ball really laced hard to the right side.
David Weathers, who's a good friend of mine, when he gave up the Grand Slam to Albert last night, he didn't even turn around. Once he threw the pitch, he knew.
Well, and in that ballpark, pitchers know. There's a ball to Zimmerman that should be 2. Hernandez turns it 5-4-3. Another double play for John Lennon. He's racking up the ground ball outs today. For some reason, Abe decided to check out at the end, and Teddy actually gets the place position, but he's still winless this year. 1-0 Braves over the Nats. Bottom of the fourth coming up. Zimmerman, Dunn, and Willingham on a beautiful day in our nation's capital. Ryan Zimmerman popped up to short first time. Breaking ball right in there. Tommy Hansen's given up only 2 hits, 1 an infield hit. 2 strikeouts, no walks. And his scoreless streak stands at 23 innings. Man, he's got a breaking pitch that he's got command of. He's not just showing that ball and wasting pitches off the plate. He's getting strikes with it. Target away. According to Baseball America, and they do as good a job as anybody in scouring the country for amateur talent and know the pulse of what's going on before kids get to the big leagues. Hansen was rated the 4th best prospect in all of baseball prior to this season. See ya. Zimmerman, without swinging the bat, strikes out, and Adam Dunn's coming up. Last night, a mighty blast to the second level, way out in right field. There's our freeze cam that we showed you last night that he got the sweet spot of the bat around. See if Adam can mix a little history with history today. Hansen's given up 3 home runs in 32 innings. Adam Dunn's about to team up with us on Masson with a new blog of his own. He says he's looking forward to communicating with our fans.
So you mean hitting home runs into the stands is a communication?
It speaks pretty loudly. Did he go? No, says Mike Winters.
It's public relations, and he's giving away souvenirs.
Yeah. Maybe one of our great Nats fans will catch number 300 and they can work a little exchange. When he hits them, they usually go farther than the bullpen. And a 1-2. Close, but inside with that fastball. His batting eye is amazing. Adam Dunn has walked 63 times this year. Only Adrian Gonzalez and Albert Pujols have walked more, 64 each. And a 2-2. Outside target. How about the directions of his home runs? He's gone left field 4 times, including that dramatic grand slam against the Orioles. I remember him going to left field at Citi Field, and then he just killed one that nearly left that ballpark the other way. 2-2 pitch. Just beyond the 2 o'clock hour here at Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. It's holiday baseball for you. Bob Carpenter, Rob Dibble, Debbie Taylor, our families together here at the ballpark, and we hope you and yours are having a great 4th of July. Rob, now be careful with your sparklers tonight, okay?
Okay.
Good eye by Dunn. He identified the breaking ball, and it's 3-2. I don't know, you strike me as more of a cherry bomb
M80
kind of guy. Yeah,
absolutely. That's how I used to go fishing.
I can't picture you with sparklers.
In a pinch, sparklers will do.
Okay. 3-2. Breaking ball low. Adam Dunn takes the walk, his 64th of the year. One on, one out, and here's Josh Willingham. I don't know if I'm getting out on a boat with you or not.
What?
I don't know if I'm going to get out on a boat with you.
Oh, you won't. I'm not big on. I will go out on a fishing boat. We're never going to go on a cruise, but I love to hunt. I'll take you out. We'll go pheasant hunting out in South Dakota.
All right.
Shoot some birds. So that's close to your house.
South Dakota,
Oklahoma.
It's not close to anything.
Well, you don't want it to be close to anything when I'm out there with a shotgun.
You know, I've been to all 48 states, but never. I say all 48. There are 50. I haven't been to the Dakotas. Never set foot in either of them, and I need to.
I'm surprised Tim Worrell has a ranch out there. Bo Jackson does too.
Oh. That's why they call it the Badlands.
The Badlands. I'm sure Oklahoma has some pheasant.
Oh yeah.
Doves or some real mean, nasty birds that have to be eaten.
Willingham takes it. 2-0. They're not having a good 4th of July out there. It's raining felines and canines right now out there. Manny Acta waiting for the big hit to get his ball club going today. They got a walk. Willingham drove in a run, his 19th last night. 2-0. And he throws the 2-0 breaking ball, and it's a quality pitch to get a strike. .43 pitches, 31 strikes coming into the 4th inning for Tommy Hanson. And he paints with the fastball, 93.
Well, he's got such smooth mechanics that the ball is exploding out of his hand. And it's probably very deceptive to our hitters.
It wasn't a strike, but he gets the call.
He gets the call on the outer edge.
Hey, they might as well have David Ross keep sitting out there. Willingham, a slow roll that is short. Graves trying to turn two, but the relay is well off the bag, and Martin Prado kept it from possibly going into the Nationals dugout. That's the rookie Conrad at second base with a wide throw there.
Well, you see Adam Dunn coming in here hard. And Conrad knows, okay, that's a big man. I want to get rid of the ball early, maybe a little too early, doesn't follow through properly, and Prado makes a great save right there. Or else Willingham would probably be on second base.
I did notice that David Ross, the catcher,
got down the line,
was standing in front of the Nationals dugout.
That's a good catcher. It's called backing up the play. A lot of hustle. I'll tell you, for not being an everyday catcher, Ross has some great numbers.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing back there defensively, too. He's hitting around 290. Guzman right to the bag for Prado. The Nats are gone. The bats are quiet. And both pitchers are doing well today. 1-0 Braves into the 5th. Bob Carpenter with Major Dibble, he tells me. But this is something that you treasure. You brought this Marine ball cap back from Iraq.
Yes, a few years ago when Diamond Dallas Page and myself went over to Iraq, we went to Baghdad and Kuwait, and we visited the troops and was able to trade hats. And at the time, give up an old Cincinnati Reds hat for a Marine hat. And I'm very proud to wear it. So today's a great day.
It looks good on you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Always nice to put the cap back on at the field. Makes me feel like I'm almost a player again. And right there you see the single down the line, and Willingham tries to get it in, and it becomes a double.
Matt Diaz absolutely on fire. So he has a base hit, now a double, and Matt Diaz is 11 for his last 16. Pitch out over the plate. He took an inside-out swing and hit it well. Got the bat head around. David Ross will be next.
Well, the second time through the lineup here for John Lannon, and they know we have to get him early in the count and we have to swing at those outside pitches, and Diaz didn't try to do too much. That's the one thing I think we're quickly finding out about this Braves team. Their whole game plan, just put the ball in play. And last night, Brian McCann sacrificed, bunted some runners into scoring position. He's the number 4 hitter. I mean, they will do whatever it takes to score an extra run here or there and manufacture runs. What they're doing essentially is playing American League baseball in the National League.
John Lannon slips one by David Ross, who flied to right field first time up. Firestone is a tradition of innovation and the lowest ERA at home since August of last year. Johan Santana, Kansas City's Zach Greinke, Jared Weaver of the Angels, and there's a bunt for a foul. And number 4 comes John Lannon in this park at 2.04.
Well, he's in some great company, and it's well deserved. And as I said at the top of the game, that the team has won 4 of his last 5 starts, and he got roughed up against the Red Sox, but that's acceptable. One of the best teams in baseball.
On a breaking ball, he gets a pop-up behind second base. Anderson Hernandez went drifting with that ball, wind blowing it around a bit. But that's a big first out without the runner advancing, and now it's number 8, the rookie Brooks Conrad, then the pitcher.
And he's done a great job, Lannon, in a lot of these starts where he's gotten a guy on base or gotten in trouble, even leadoff hitters in his last start, and being able to get the ground ball double play. And that's pitching. It's basically knowing where your defense is, pitching to your defense, and visualizing guys putting the ball on the ground. And he's done a great job of working out of jams.
Well, let's see if somebody can get Conrad out. A base hit first time today. That ball near the right field line and caught on the run by Josh Willingham for the second out. Josh Willingham's not the kind of guy who's going to let a new position bother him. He does a lot of work in BP, and he's looking good in right field. Then Anderson Hernandez was after the ball earlier.
Look at the shadow. He's shadowing his face. Great job on the Exmo guys.
Wow.
It is a tough, high sky, very bright. He's got the shades on, and he's shading himself right there on that infield pop-up.
And that dramatic slow-mo showed you that ball nestled into the very webbing of his glove. Guzman knocks it down and still gets his man at first base. Luckily, it was the pitcher running, and the Nats are out of the inning. John Lannon, 1 run through 5. Bottom of the order coming up, in time for the bats to get busy. We serve today for a safe tomorrow. Panasonic Toughbook Computers. Tough book for a tough world. And by Navy Federal Credit Union. We serve where you serve. We air today's game on Masson, celebrating Independence Day. Happy 4th of July to our viewers, and a special thanks to the United States Armed Forces who protect and defend our great nation every day.
Yes, God bless you all.
John Lennon's averaging 11 pitches per inning now through his 5 good innings of work. Tommy Hanson back to work. We'll see if the Nats can touch him for something here with Hernandez, Nieves, and Lannon coming up. You don't think the Duck took a day off, did you?
No.
Here's Medwick.
I thought he'd be painted like red, white, and blue or something.
Most hits in a season by a Braves third baseman all time.
I'm going to say Terry Pendleton when he was the MVP.
That's a good guess.
He's hitting coach over there.
You know, Chipper Jones and Eddie Matthews are the two obvious names.
Right. But he won a batting title. So I'm going to go with Terry Pendleton.
Let's see. Hits, hits, hits. Chipper has never had 200 hits. You were awfully quick on the trigger there. You're not getting some help from downstairs, are you?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. You know what? Since we messed up Marquise Grissom, I'm thinking, okay, who are in the dugout and who could possibly be involved in this next answer?
Terry Pendleton had 199 hits for the 92 Braves when he hit 311.
Maybe it is Eddie Matthews.
Eddie Matthews was a great player.
Nah, you're not talking me out of Terry Pendleton.
Okay.
I think it's TP.
Well, and Eddie was more of a power hitter. Not too many guys who hit lots of home runs get 200 hits. Hernandez got an infield hit in front of the shortstop Escobar, first time up. There's another slow roller up the middle. Escobar and out on a close play.
Very
so
nice.
Those guys are 1 for 1 against each other. Well done.
This is just a great play by Escobar. He's going towards the bag. He knows it's a speedy runner. It doesn't even look like he has a great grip on the ball, but he's got to cut it loose anyway, so he just flings it over. Prado with the nice stretch. Bang, bang. Very nice.
Will Nieves is next. The Nationals wanted one of these two hitters to get on so John Lennon can sacrifice. And Will slap that ball foul.
Well, it wasn't Eddie Matthews. The most he ever hit in one season, 1959, 182 hits. Also hit 46 homers that year.
Wow.
And that didn't even get him MVP honors. He was second in the MVP balloting that year.
Well, the Braves had some great teams. Late 50s, they went to the World Series twice. Eddie Matthews, of course, Henry Aaron, Del Crandall, a young catcher who was very good, Joe Adcock. They had some sticks. And, of course, they had Warren Spahn. 1-2 to Nieves. On a breaking ball, Will stays alive. Interesting email question we received today from Betty Johnson in Silver Spring. A female Major League umpire? If not, will there be one? There might have been one in spring training here and there, but none that's ever worked the regular season.
Regular season at the major league level, but I was in AAA in the minor leagues and kind of came up through the ranks with a woman named Pam Postema, and she was an excellent umpire. Great balls and strikes behind home plate and very good on the bases. I really felt she would have been up in the major leagues, and this was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It just didn't happen. So I do think that a female could definitely one day be a Major League Baseball umpire.
Good question.
Can't be much worse than some of the ones I've seen this year.
Here's Lannon.
Did I say that on the air?
Yes.
Next time I'll use my inner voice.
I think everybody knows what you're talking about.
No, it's just be consistent.
One to Lannon, who struck out looking first time. Nats haven't had a hit since Anderson Hernandez. Scratch single on the infield back in the second. That one right to Escobar. He's already taken a hit away from Hernandez this inning. He retires Lannon. This 1-0 4th of July game into the 6th inning. Southwest Airlines. Book your next trip at southwest.com. And by Firestone, a tradition of innovation. Lots of goodies at the ballpark today. Ways to keep cool. Keep yourself filled up on a 4th of July Saturday. All right, let's pay off our trivia. Is it Terry Pendleton who's in the ballpark today? It's not Chipper. It's not Eddie Matthews.
Yeah. Sweet.
You are en fuego.
Yes, back on the board. It's been a long drought.
Braves box score will be rolling by. They only have 5 hits, but that's 3 more than the Nats. And Nate McLeod, the big hit of the day, a 1-out single to drive in Brooks Conrad, who had singled, been sacrificed back in the 3rd.
And that Tommy Hanson kid's got a 25-inning scoreless streak going. We need to break that.
He's also responsible for their run with that sacrifice bunt. 3-0 for Lannon, 2 McLeod, with Prado, Jones, maybe Anderson to follow here in the 6th inning. John Lannon gets a strike on 3-0. It's now 8-2 at Chicago. Brewers all over the Cubs. Cincinnati leads St. Louis 3-1. Those are the other teams in action right now in the National League, and Lannon walks the leadoff man. The Braves have had their leadoff man on now 3 of the last 4 innings. As we mentioned earlier, Nate McLeod is a running threat. He has 10 stolen bases, only been caught once.
I'm thinking if Prado can't move him to second base, he'll probably try and steal with 1 out.
Prado, fly ball to left, double play ball to short. John Lannon's in good shape to be around in this game for a long time. He just batted last half inning. His pitch count low 60s. Glennon hasn't given up more than 3 runs since May 25th at New York. That ball hacked to left. Adam Dunn can't get it. It'll one-hop the wall. And the Braves will have runners at second and third with nobody out. And Chipper Jones coming up. Maybe we smelled an intentional walk. We'll see how Manny plays it.
Well, he got this pitch up and Prado jumped all over it. Walked the leadoff guy who was living dangerously. Start throwing some pitches up high to this team. We saw what happened to Ross Detweiler last night. They will smack you around the ballpark.
Left-handed batter on deck, but the Nats are not showing any sign of working around Chipper Jones here. He's 7 for his last 22 on a 5-game hitting streak. Scorched a line drive right at Willingham last time up. That may be our answer there. They're not going to throw him any strikes, evidently. I did see Wilmy Davis glance over to the dugout as he went out to visit Lannon, possibly looking for Manny to hold up the 4 fingers. They've matched each other pretty well pitch for pitch today. Lannon's pitch count through 5 innings was 16 fewer than Tommy Hansen's. The Nats may have to get into the Atlanta bullpen to have a chance today. 2-0 pitch, and Chipper Jones makes him pay for throwing a strike. It's 2-0. I thought when they went 2-0 they might just go ahead and walk him, but John Lannon grooved one.
Well, Steve McCatty's going to have a little chit chat and figure out what's going on here with John Lannon. He just doesn't look the same this inning that he had in the last couple. You don't want to be grooving fastballs to the 3, 4, 5 guys in the lineup.
Chipper Jones with his 39th RBI, his 3rd of this series. And against Nationals pitching now in 15 innings, the Braves have 21 hits.
You said it yourself at the beginning of the game. They don't strike out. They put the ball in play. So you have to set yourself up as a pitcher and say, listen, I'm not going to have a lot of strikeouts today. So I'm going to really have to get these guys to put the ball on the ground and help get my defense to get behind me.
That may be the first time Steve McCatty's had to visit John Lennon since he got the job. First and third, nobody out, and Garrett Anderson, who is a double play candidate if you can get a ground ball. Singled up the middle his last time up. Now he does it again. 3-0 Atlanta. Nothing but stringing hits together for the Braves in this series. And with the Nationals unable to solve a rookie pitcher in the bottom half of these innings, the Braves are building a lead that could become insurmountable.
Well, no one's immune to being hit hard. And it's making guys uncomfortable in the box, making them move their feet. We've talked about Garrett Anderson. He's very comfortable. He just stands there. Well, you can't just lay it down Broadway for these guys. And you're either going to start pitching inside or you're going to lose a lot of ball games.
Escobar now.
And John had been doing that. John had really been busting guys in, up and in. Right now our starting rotation's having a lot of trouble, Bob, getting through the order the 3rd time.
Yep. A walk and 3 hits in a row here.
423, 5 homers, 37 ribbies for Escobar with runners in scoring position. Got to be right up there with the best in the big leagues.
Only Hanley Ramirez higher in this league at 466, which is crazy. In fact, there's nobody in the American League runners in scoring position over 381. Wow. That's where Kevin Youkilis is. So we're talking about a couple of guys who are amazing with runners in scoring position, Hanley Ramirez and Yunel Escobar.
Living the high life. Very nice.
Double play ball. Guzman, Hernandez, and the Nationals turn their third twin killing of the day. That moves a runner to third, Chipper Jones, but 2 outs now.
Well, one of the best in the big leagues at runners in scoring position, and Escobar gets jammed, grounds it right to Guzman, and the 6-4-3. Very nice. It is your best friend when you're in a jam.
Now he needs to get the hot swinging Matt Diaz. Two for 2 today, 11 for his last 16. First pitch, nice room service hop for Hernandez, and Landon gets out of an inning that could have been much worse. Braves get 2 on a walk and 3 hits and lead 3-0. .com and by PNC Bank. PNC leading the way. Well, that Capitol Dome is ever present no matter where you are in this town. Bottom of the 6th, 3-0 Braves. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. Niger Morgan is 0 for 6 as a Nat. Walked his first time up last night. Nationals box score will show only 2 hits. Nick Johnson, a first inning 1-out single. Anderson Hernandez, a second inning 2-out infield hit. Eleven of 12 retired since then.
His mechanics kind of remind me of John Lackey. Big, tall kid, throws downhill. Not a lot to do in his delivery, very quiet.
Breaks his hands early and gets that right hand really extended behind his body.
Let's check out this look of Mr. Hansen. Now watch him aim with that front arm, the elbow and shoulder, and then just follow it up with some gas. Very clean. See what the Exmo has to say about Mr. Hansen. See that front shoulder? Obviously, you want to go right there. He's following it with his hands, and then the ball comes through. Nice follow through. And he just keeps repeating it. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Throws a lot of strikes, doesn't walk a lot of people. Put the pressure on the hitter. They become defensive, and obviously he's gone 25 innings without allowing a run. That's pretty good for a kid making his 6th big league start today.
4 strikeouts, 1 walk today. Keeps throwing the ball close enough. Morgan has to keep swinging. The Nats need Nyjer Morgan on base any way they can get him.
What I want to know is, who are all the guys drafted in front of him to have him fall in the 22nd round?
Well, that's only 660 guys. So I'm sure we can't find out who all of them were.
Yeah.
But can you imagine?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Nyjer Morgan, 33rd round guy.
Yep.
That's why they say baseball drafting is the most inexact science of all the sports.
Absolutely, because even between the ages of 18 and 22, guys put on some weight. Their arms get a little bit stronger. They find new mechanical techniques to improve upon, whether it's hitting, running, throwing. And so it's very hard to, well, I think that's the greatest art, is being able to say a kid 3 or 4 or 5 years from now is going to be playing in the major leagues. So that projection by scouting, I think, is key.
Untouchable lately.
Well, he mixes speeds very well.
Well, he keeps throwing strikes when he gets behind in the count. Escobar knows he has to hurry. Another out. That's 12 of 13. Cubs Nats 16th through the 19th. Pre-game bands, post-game fireworks on Friday. 2 weeks from tomorrow, family fun day. Pre-game player autographs, post-game kids run the bases. And we'll give away kids lunch bags on Sunday to the first 10,000 fans 12 and under. Presented by Smithfield. 888-632-NATS. Visit Nationals.com or stop by the Nationals Park box office for tickets. When you go around town to your local grocer, you see a lot of food items that are produced by Smithfield. And they're a proud sponsor of the Nats. Here's Nick Johnson, 1 for 2 with the base hit. Yeah, he sure looked worried when he fell behind a speedy guy. 3-1, didn't he? Just kept pumping strikes. His command is really impressive. Nick pulls one, but they were playing him to pull with Conrad. 2 outs.
That's what we talked about, knowing where your defense is, being able to get somebody to put that ball either on the turf or not get a good swing when they put it in the air. And like you said, he's not walking a lot of people, although coming into today, not a great strikeout to walk ratio. But the bottom line is quality starts. It's all about wins. And the ball club 5 wins in his first 5 starts. He has 4 of them on his own record.
And this weekend is not shaping up the way the Nats had hoped. If they don't win this one today, well, even if they do, you're looking at Derek Lowe tomorrow. Scott Olson, man, he hopes will pitch like he did Monday night in Florida. He'll be with you at 1:35 for the first pitch tomorrow. DC 50, our friends will join us over the air tomorrow. Nats Extra with Johnny and Ray at 1 p.m. The Nats need Zimmerman aboard here. Get Adam Dunn up in the 6th inning. Adam Dunn leading off the 7th doesn't do the Nationals a whole lot of good. They need him batting with somebody on base. That's a slider flared out into left center. It's going to hang up. Caught by Anderson, and the Nats are gone. No hits since the 2nd inning. Tommy Hanson is the real deal. rewind. Today, a story of pitching. John Lannon, 3 double play balls on Prado in the 3rd. Escobar in the 4th, and then another one to keep a big inning from happening on Escobar again in the 6th. Tommy Hansen's been amazing. No runs on 2 hits, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk through 6 high-quality innings. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. John Lannon's 7th inning of work. He only threw 73 pitches, his first 6. A 1 ball, 1 strike to David Ross. Just barely foul tipped on an off-speed delivery. John Lannon, 3 runs on 8 hits through 6. A costly walk to lead off the 6th. McLeod came around to score. Ross drives it to right center, but Josh Willingham is there.
You got a really fast guy there.
Josh?
Oh, Niger. I thought Niger ran over. Caught that.
I was going to say Josh would like you saying that.
Josh isn't that bad.
Yeah.
You know what? The one thing Josh has talked about is that he's tried to improve his defense since coming up with the Marlins. And now we throw him from left field to right field and say, okay, learn a new position at the major league level. I think he's done quite well.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's one of those kids who could do anything in high school. He was a pitcher. In fact, his wife Ginger told me a wonderful story about him and his late brother John. When Josh was a senior and John was a freshman, they were on the baseball team together in Florence, Alabama. And Josh was trying to pitch them into the state championship tournament. He just ran out of gas. Guess who came in to save the game? Little brother. A great baseball memory. Brooks Conrad 1 for 2 today. And a pop fly out of play right side. So Conrad joins Cody Ross as another one of those relatively unknown villains who hit home runs this week against the Nats. Cody Ross, a fine ball player, but not known for his power. He's hurt the Nationals with a couple of home runs this year. And this kid just up for his first day with Atlanta yesterday when they put Kelly Johnson on the DL. Lannon spins a real good breaking ball and strikes him out. And for John Lannon, his first strikeout today. Tomorrow the Nats complete the series with the Braves, and during the game we'll auction off 4 tickets to the Jonas Brothers concert July 13th at Verizon Center, plus a meet and greet with the guys. Stop by the Dream Foundation kiosk at the Centerfield Plaza. You have to do that before the end of the 6th inning and place a bid, and you might win. Proceeds benefit the Children's National Medical Center in D.C. Tommy Hansen 0 for 1 with a sacrifice. 0 for 2 with the sacrifice. Now he'll go out and pitch the 7th inning. 7th inning stretch time here at Nationals Park. The Braves lead the Nats by a score of 3-0. Dunn, Willingham, and Guzman coming up in the bottom of the 7th. We had a wonderful Star-Spangled Banner before the game. And we're going to have God Bless America coming up as well from Master Sergeant Ryan Carson of the U.S. Air Force. And wait till you hear him sing.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in honoring our great nation on this, our Independence Day. Here to perform God Bless America once again, Master Sergeant Ryan Carson of the United States Air Force.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountain to the prairie, to the ocean wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
By DynCorp, we serve today for a safe tomorrow. By Panasonic Toughbook Computers, tough book for a tough world. And by Navy Federal Credit Union, we serve where you serve. Over at the Navy Yard here at Nationals Park, from the Anacostia to South Capitol Street, beautiful day. Not looking real good on the scoreboard until the Nats can do something about Tommy Hanson. It's the bottom of the 7th. Washington out hit 8-2 and trailing the Braves 3-0. The Ripken All-Stars face the Valley League All-Stars. It's the Mid-Atlantic Classic, and it's only 11 days away at Regency Furniture Stadium in Waldorf. Come out and catch the Stars of tomorrow. Marcus Jones and D. Brown, Nats prospects, launch their careers in this game. Masson HD carries it. If you go to the ball game, Home Run Derby at 5:30. First pitch 7:05. Your donation appreciated. Admission is free. RipkenSeniorCollegeBaseball.org or 410-588-9900. Well, hopefully somebody in the ballpark hollered, let's get some runs. Dunn, Willingham, and Guzman, bottom 7.
Well, you can't win if you don't score. Right now you're chasing 3, but nice to scratch across a run on this kid.
Shift is on, and with nobody on base, Bobby Cox plays his shift just a little deeper than he usually does. Conrad about 10 feet into the outfield grass. Adam Dunn, here we are in the 6th inning, only batting for the 3rd time. And the 0-2 to Dunn. Side door breaking ball stays outside.
0-2 pitch right here, trying to come back door. Misses it.
He doesn't waste much of anything, does he?
No, he doesn't. He lives on the edges. When he has to, he'll bring it back over the heart of the plate, but not very often.
Adam Dunn gets jammed and fights one off. Josh Willingham is next, and then Christian Guzman. Happy 4th of July, number 300. Adam Dunn goes second deck again, and the Nats are on the board. Personal history for Adam Dunn, 23rd player to ever do that. That's still a pretty impressive number.
And more impressive, it breaks his kid's scoreless streak at 26. It's over. And Adam Dunn hits his 300th career home run, 22nd of the season.
And Josh Willingham's waiting to get in the batter's box because everybody wants Adam Dunn to take a curtain call here. Come on, Adam. There he is. He's a big man who doesn't like to call attention to himself except with his bat.
Here's his dad.
Well, when he hits him, there is no doubt. He has 22 of the Nationals' 74 home runs. And here's Willingham, who's hit 9. Well, I would imagine the fan who ended up with that ball up there could probably work a little deal with number 44 right now.
I think Adam Dunn would rather take a win.
Oh, sure.
He's a very humble young man.
Well, that's a good breaking ball by Tommy Hanson, who just gave up only his 4th career home run.
Here's the guy who caught the home run ball.
Nice.
You watch him, he stashes it away. Now the thing about the balls as Willingham flies out to right field here.
Maybe. A lot of sun out there. Diaz handled it well.
Is they have to mark it after the fact. So they'll take that ball, they'll put a hologram on it, and then it'll be an official ball used in the ball game. And Major League Baseball, I think, is right there on the spot saying, listen, we have to put this on there to make sure that we can certify the authenticity of it.
Yeah, make sure nobody else claims they caught it when it was a foul ball or something.
And I think there's a lawyer getting involved. I'm just kidding. It is Washington.
In this town? Are you kidding?
Maybe it's a lobbyist.
There's a lobbyist and then the lawyer comes in. And then we'll have to have a hearing. An
congressional hearing.
An investigative committee. Christian Guzman 0 for 2 today. That's if we can find anybody who's not traveling the world right now.
Are you the man who stuck the banana in the tailpipe? Oh, you're the one who caught the home run ball. Okay.
Adam Dunn's on a home run binge right now. Over his last 6 games, he's hit 4 homers and driven in 7 runs. So it's really good. You know, he didn't get stuck on 299 for a week, and then everybody starts asking you about it. You know, hitters just want to go up and hit and do the things they usually do. They don't want to be thinking about that sort of thing. So he got it over in a hurry. Adam Dunn, 6 plate appearances and only 4 official at bats after 299. Hit one out of here today.
Sean Burnett getting loose in the bullpen. Once again, though, John Lannon has battled his butt off, just like a true ace, going up against one of the best young pitchers out there today. Got to get him some runs.
And I hope he doesn't throw another pitch today. That would mean the Nats would keep this inning alive long enough to get down to the number 9 spot and hit for John. But he could come out for the 8th inning. He's only thrown 85 pitches. Hernandez took a big swing. He can't afford that again. Now it's 2-2.
Did you see the movement on that pitch, though? 92 mile an hour, 2-seam fastball, and that ball just jumped from one side of the plate to the other.
And a 2-2. Got him. Had him jumping back. The ball tailed back out over the plate. The Nats get a leadoff homer from Adam Dunn, his 300th in the bottom of the 7th, and it's now a 3-1 game. This year, culminating in number 300 a moment ago. Part of our game summary. Nats need some more offense, though. John Lannon doing his part. A glitch in the 6th after a leadoff walk and 3 hits. He's thrown 3 double play balls, and Tommy Hanson has been outstanding. 1 run on 3 hits through 7. These are a couple of young pitchers. One's 24, one will be 23 in August, who might be dueling each other in this division for a long, long time. That's a curveball for a strike to Nate McLeod, and the 8th inning is underway. And Nate McLeod is on base for the 3rd time today. Two singles and a walk. Martin Prado is next. The defining moment of this game might have been when the Nationals elected to pitch to Chipper Jones with 2nd and 3rd and nobody out in the 6th. His base hit led to them having a 2-0 lead, and then Garrett Anderson added another. Chipper's on deck here. If Prado gets aboard, you wonder if John Lannon would even face Chipper Jones. Might be time for a fresh arm. Well, I hope all the local watering establishments are open near Wrigley Field today. Milwaukee leads 11-2 in the 6th inning. Ouch. They may be spilling into the streets shortly. Cincinnati leads St. Louis at home 5-1. Those are the only other 2 National League games in progress. Quite a battle. Seattle at Boston 2-2 in the 8th. Toronto leads at New York 5-3 in the 6th, and the White Sox 4-3 in the 6th at Kansas City. Everything in the American League later. One ball and 1 strike to Prado. 1 for 3 with a double and a double play ball. It's 3 o'clock in our nation's capital. Relatively small crowd for a holiday. 23,708. Watching the Nats and the Braves in Game 2 of this weekend series. Could Lannon throw another ground ball? He saved himself a lot of pitches with 3 double plays today.
but he hasn't helped himself 50% of the time. 4 of the 8 innings he's had the leadoff runner on. And you're just putting a lot of pressure on yourself to try to work out of jams.
4 of the last 6 innings, in fact. Another ball on a play right side.
I love watching the bat boys run in and out with the balls.
They live for those.
Yep.
Just outside the bag.
Used to love when we could get the bat boy to look for the batting box key. And ask the umpires.
That last foul ball was hit down in a part of a field where I had my first ushering job. We were supposed to throw the ball down to the next usher near the dugout. I one-hopped the third base coach right in the middle of the back.
Ooh, nice aim.
Auspicious debut. It was a little rainy that night. I claimed wet ball.
I tried that a couple times in my career. It didn't work for me.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
It slipped, honest.
I'm just glad it wasn't Larry Boa. I think he was still playing then anyway. And a 2-2. Nick's got it. Short for 1. 3-6-3. Well done. Nick knew he had time, so rather than go to the bag and then have to throw right by the runner for a tag play, the Nats just went back and forth. 4th double play today.
Well, this is a shot at Sure Hands Johnson. He picks it up, throws it over to Christian. Christian just flips it back over to Nick. As Bob said, 3-6-3.
That was pretty. Had great rhythm to that twin killing, and here's Chipper Jones. $16 ground ball outs now for John Lannon. His 8 innings today will be his 3rd longest outing of the year. Zimmerman has it. And John Lannon, well done. Maybe some run support coming to get him off the hook. Nieves, the pitcher spot, and then Morgan. Glow makes his living having people pound the ball into the ground. He is 7-6, but 0 for 3 in his last 4 starts. And then Scott Olsen, who pitched magnificently in Florida Monday night in his return from the DL. 7 innings, only 2 earned runs, got a no decision. So those are your pitchers for tomorrow. We'll get you going at 1 o'clock. Nats Extra. Johnny Holiday and Ray Knight. So here we go to the bottom of the 8th, and Mike Gonzalez will take over. He's going to rock back and forth and face Ronnie Belliard here, hitting for Will Nieves. And then to get a catcher into the game, Josh Bard is in the on-deck circle. Fastball right in there.
Well, this is 42nd appearance in their 80th game. So Mike Gonzalez gets a lot of appearances, a lot of work.
Belliard rips it just foul. John Lannon, well, he's still officially in the game until Josh Bard hits next. And there's Casey Kotzman at first base as the Braves work a double switch here. So their pitcher is batting in the number 2 spot. But John Lannon, a really good day, 98 pitches, 65 strikes, 18 first pitch strikes. The 2-2, and Belliard pops it up, hopes it gets out of play. It'll be close. And not able to reach it. Casey Kotzman, who just came into the game. Bard's been swinging the bat well. Belliard rips it into left field. Ronnie Belliard with his 3rd pinch hit this year in 7 at-bats. Now, pardon me, 4th hit in 21 at-bats. So the Nats are in business now, and Rob, suddenly some opportunities here with a tying run holding a bat.
Well, someone's got to get on, and then you got to get a 2-run homer or at least get something working here. And Ronnie Belliard knows that any way you can. Great job leading off here as a pinch hitter.
The Nats have doubled their hit total for the entire game in the last few minutes. So here's Josh Bard, who doesn't pinch hit often. He's 2 for 7 in that department. Switch hitting catcher, batting right-handed here. Well, the Nats didn't go down 9-8 without a fight last night. They had the tying run batting in the 9th. They're taking some good hacks here against Mike Gonzalez. Gonzalez pitched a scoreless 8th last night when he struck out. Hernandez looking, Kearns looking, Morgan swinging. Counts even 1-1. Off-speed breaking ball had him all locked up. Gonzalez not looking nearly as sharp as he did last night. Bobby Cox got 7 great innings from a rookie starter. At least the Nats ended that scoreless streak at 26 innings. Bard takes one low, 3-2. Takes another breaking ball. 2 on, nobody out.
Great at bat. That was a wonderful at bat right there by Josh Bard. I came in early today and walking through the tunnel. Who did I see down in the batting cage? Josh Bard.
He's been putting in a lot of work with Rick Eckstein.
Yeah, well, they all do. They're all out here for extra BP. As Roger McDowell's going to sprint out there, Bob.
Josh has totally revamped his hitting style, though, because he acknowledged at Rick's suggestion that he had way too many moving parts in his swing, and they've really simplified things. And a visit with Marquise Grissom. Interesting situation now. Nyjer Morgan can fly. The Nationals could be sacrificing 2 runners ahead here. Is that Eric O'Flaherty?
Oh, yes, it is. Mr. O'Flaherty, and I think that's Mr. Moylan.
Ray Knight and Johnny Holiday will break down John Lannon's great 8-inning outing today. We'll hear some live thoughts after the game from Andy Acta, Derek Lowe, Scott Olson tomorrow. It's all coming up. Verizon Fios, Nats Extra.
It's Mr. Moylan out there too. We got both bullpens going at it, and there's a bunt.
Morgan does bunt. Perfect. Belliard to third, Bard to second, with 1 out in the 8th, and the big guns are coming up now. Nyjer Morgan's done everything a leadoff hitter and center fielder should do the last 2 games, except get some base hits. But that sure helps out right there.
There's that really taxed Braves bullpen.
Are there any well-rested bullpens in baseball right now?
No.
Nick Johnson could tie the game, and Gonzalez misses inside. The key to this guy is not letting him get you to 2 strikes if you're a left-hander, so he can drop that nasty hook on you. So if Nick sees something he likes here, he's going to be wailing away. That tails up and in, ball 2.
Wow, and Gonzalez is living a dangerous line right here. Nick is hitting .337 off lefties this year. And I think that's a fabulous job by Nick on lefties all year.
Hard strike with a touch pitch, a breaking ball.
Didn't have to be. 2-0. Gonzalez drops a 81-mile-an-hour breaker in there.
This could be the pitch. He doesn't want to go to 3-1. He does. Gonzalez will not be facing Zimmerman. And Ryan could be batting with 3 men aboard. 1 out here in the 8th. Braves lead the Nationals 3-1. He really had Nick reaching for that one.
That's not what you want to do if you're Nick Johnson. If you can't drive the ball into the outfield, just leave it alone. Don't want to help Gonzalez out right here.
And the bases are loaded. Gonzalez can't throw his fastball for a strike.
That may be it for Gonzalez.
Oh, it has to be. So he retires, 1 batter, and that was Nyjer Morgan trying to make it out. Walks 2. And that infamous matchup we talk about all the time, Peter Moylan and Ryan Zimmerman. Here we go again. The game on the line right here. It's been a dramatic moment once. March 30th last year. Do we ever get tired of seeing this? First home run the Nationals ever hit in this ballpark, and the only time they've ever had a winning record in this ballpark. Right now, Ryan Zimmerman would love a sweet two-run single somewhere. Peter Moylan, 30 years of age, 6'2", 200. Braves signed him as a minor league free agent in March of '06. Ryan Zimmerman could provide us with a new defining moment right here. That's a breaking ball low. Ryan's been eaten up all day by Tommy Hansen's breaking balls. This is not of that caliber, but Moylan is a sidewinder who specializes in keeping the ball down. Up the middle, base hit. This game is tied. Over to third, Nick Johnson. Zimmerman delivers, and it's 3-3 in the eighth.
Well, give Ronnie Belliard all the credit for getting this inning going with a knock, then a couple of walks, and then Ryan Zimmerman steps up and shoots it right through the hole. The pulled in infield for double play, and how sweet it is.
Now they'll have another left-hander. Eric O'Flaherty for Adam Dunn. You know, the interesting thing about that, the Braves do not play Ryan Zimmerman as far up the middle as some ball clubs do.
Yes.
We've seen that ground ball become a double play in the past, but today it's a game-tying hit. Coors Light. Adam Dunn, number 300 last time up. And Rob, he centered this baby.
Yeah, freeze it, baby, right there. The Coors Light freeze cam. Kiss that one goodbye. Much deserved curtain call right there by Adam Dunn. A tough year, but he has been exciting throughout.
Eric O'Flaherty against Adam Dunn.
Remember, when we were on the road, you were talking about his batting average at home wasn't too good. Must be raising that up a little bit.
That's a base hit to center. The Nationals take the lead. Adam Dunn delivers his second RBI of the day. It's amazing how a pinch hit to start an inning at the bottom of the batting order can get a ball club going.
Adam Dunn right here, not wasting any time swinging at the first pitch fastball. O'Flaherty makes a big mistake right there, thinking I'll just sneak a fastball by this big guy who takes a lot of pitches. Dunn, that may be the biggest RBI of the year right there for Adam.
All three of those runs charged to Mike Gonzalez. First and second, one out, and Josh Willingham could really put a stamp on this inning. The other thing this has done has had that bullpen phone ringing, and the Nats closer Mike McDougall is now up.
Well, a couple of things. It gives John Landon a chance to win this ball game. He also gets off the hook for the possible loss.
The only one you feel bad for is Tommy Hanson.
He'll get plenty of wins.
McDougall heating up that mid-90s fastball of his. Still only one out of the inning. Willingham, left side, base hit.
Come on.
Zimmerman coming home. It is 5-3. That run charged to Peter Moylan.
Great job of hitting right here by Josh Willingham. Pitch down and in. He smokes it into left field, and Zim hustling all the way around from second. A nice two-run cushion here for Mike McDougall. Let's make it a few more.
And Willie Harris for pinch running and for defense here for Adam Dunn.
And Christian Guzman turns around to the right side.
What a rally by the Nats. Still only one out. The Nationals came into this inning with one run on 3 hits. They now have 5 runs on 7 hits. Guzman 0 for 3 today, bats right-handed for the first time. Good stop by David Ross.
As a right-hander this year, Christian hitting .323. Seems to have a better eye from the right side, Bob. He's got 5 walks against 2 from the left side. He's got 7.
It's interesting that any number a right-hander has from that side as a switch hitter is more than what he gets from the left side, because they get so many more left-handed ABs. 2-2 pitch. Guzman leaves his strike zone and strikes out. Anderson Hernandez will be the 9th Nat to bat in this inning. Now, what really looms large in this game is the 4 double plays John Lannon got that kept Atlanta out of some bigger innings. Hernandez 1 for 3 today. He'll bounce it foul.
Well, and also John Lannon staying out there for 8 innings.
Yep.
And being his own bridge to your closer.
Fastball away, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Last night scoring 8 runs. One of the discussions I had with Manny Acta this morning was 8 runs should win you a lot of ball games.
Sure.
And we've scored 8 runs a lot this year. And 10. We haven't won too many of them.
The Braves, by the way, in the 9th. The good news is Chipper Jones just batted. They have Anderson, Escobar, and Diaz 4, 5, and 6. One and 2 to Hernandez. Hanging tough, staying alive. Anderson in a bit of a struggle right now. 0 for his last 11. Pardon me, 1 for 11 with his infield hit today. So when this kid's swinging well, the bottom of that order comes alive. In case they need another pitcher, the Braves still have working out there Chris Medlin. And a 1-2 to Hernandez. Oh, they're going to call him out. The Nats get some big hits. Ryan Zimmerman, a 2-run single with the bases loaded. Adam Dunn follows to put the Nats on top. Josh Willingham, an insurance run. McDougal ahead for the 9th. Next trip at Southwest.com. And by Aflac. We've got you under our wing. Well, I'm not sure we saw that rally coming, but it sure was fun for the Nats in the bottom of the 8th. They now lead 5-3, and it's Mike McDougal's job to get the final 3 outs. Follow the Nats on your iPhone and iPod Touch. MLB.com. At Bat 2009 featuring play-by-play video highlights and a rally or two and live audio. Visit Nationals.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch to purchase. Nationals with changes all over the place. Austin Kearns takes over for Josh Willingham in right. That's a straight up defensive change. Josh Bard stays in after pinch hitting to catch. Willie Harris stays in after pinch running to play left field. And here's Mike McDougal. First batter, Garrett Anderson. McDougal after his 4th save. Two and 0. He gets a high strike call from Jerry Lane. Then he gets put on the corner. McDougal doing some painting right now.
That might have been a better pitch than the first strike. 2-1 pitch, great sinking fastball, 96 miles an hour. Tough for anybody to hit. Garrett Anderson, he's not going to swing at something he can't really hit hard. He's too disciplined.
Ground ball to short. Guzman behind it. Long throw, 1 out. Yunel Escobar's hit the ball on the ground 3 times today, accounting for 5 outs.
Looking, Steve McCaddy and Manny Acta talking about the arm position of Mike McDougal.
He goes 2-0 again. Up by 1, up by 2 in the 9th. You cannot afford as a closer to walk anybody. Matt Diaz swinging a hot bat is next. McDougal's first save opportunity since last Sunday in Baltimore. He made the most of that with a 1-2-3 ninth. Walk.
Well, Josh Bard, I was watching him. He was pounding that front shoulder, trying to get McDougal to keep that front shoulder in there just a little bit longer so he could throw some more strikes. The last one just a little bit low, but it was over the heart of the plate. But you don't want to just lay in a fastball right here, especially a meat one to this guy. He could lose it in a hurry.
Diaz 2 for 3 today. And when Mike's missing, he's not missing close. He got 2/3 of an inning Wednesday afternoon at Florida. Oh my. There goes your double play. And often when you try to throw the ball through the backstop, that's exactly where it goes.
Well, Josh is just trying to calm him down and get him not to be frustrated right there. May not be loose. Your arm can't feel well every time you go out there and pitch. He's got to settle down and try to find the strike zone. Steve McCaddy is going to come out and try to tell him, listen, simplify it right here. Pick up Bard and try to throw the ball over the plate, but don't aim it. Start trying to aim it, and that's when Diaz is going to lose the ball. Hit it over the fence.
Well, McDougal's been there, done that. He has 53 major league saves. But his last big save season was in 05 when he had 21 for the Royals. Diaz, of course, taking all the way.
I could see Diaz taking another strike right here. I think they're going to try and make Mike McDougal throw it over the plate to beat them.
Well, they don't mind hitting with 2 strikes. They're a contact team. Well, does the hitter sit dead red here, or does he take another?
Oh, no, you sit dead red right here. He's trying to find the plate.
That's Brian McCann for Ross next. Now the Nationals have been warming up a left-hander. Joe Beimel. There's no guarantee that McDougal stays in here. So it's McCann for David Ross. I'm not sure Joe Beimel has the ability to throw the ball by Brian McCann, which is what Manny would be looking for here. And now McDougal falls behind his 4th consecutive hitter.
Well, and Manny tried with Jesus Colomé to put him in a situation to succeed and show that he could do the job last night. And Colomé wasn't up for it. And right here he's staying with McDougal to see who's going to be my closer. Who wants the job? The 1-0 pitch on the pitch track, but it's up and away, and Jerry Lane is not going to give you a strike. You got to earn it, and the more you're erratic, the less chance you are getting a questionable call or a close call. Whenever you try to hump up and physically throw the ball, Bob, you actually throw it slower. So you really have to try and relax your mind and just free and easy let it go.
McCann, a drive to right. Willie, or rather Kearns is there. He's got it for the second out.
Ooh, make him earn it.
Well, if you throw strikes, the best hitters only get you 3 out of 10 times.
And those guys go to the Hall of Fame. Most guys are 2.5 out of 10 times.
And so it comes down to the rookie who was their hero last night, Brooks Conrad. And dare I say he hit his homer after 2 walks.
You can dare, but different pitcher.
Different day.
Different day. But I hope for the best here. Wow. That was close.
One out to go for the Nats to beat the Braves. And a 1-0 pitch. We got the ceiling of the strike zone out of half.
Well, one or the other. I mean, the first pitch was pretty nice, too. Come on, Matt. Make him swing it.
Ground ball. Hernandez. First base. And the Nats come from behind on the 4th of July to beat the Braves. And by the way, something symbolic about this. In 3 games on the 4th of July in Washington, D.C.